Hello friends, welcome back to the Military History channel. Today, we are going to discuss the part 2 of chapter 7, that is Battle of Naushera. In this video friends, we are going to discuss about the military operations in Jammu and Kashmir. Friends, the operation in Jammu and Kashmir as detailed in part 2 of chapter 7 of the book History of Operation by Shri S.N. Prasad and Dharampal. This chapter is crucial for understanding the early military actions that took right after India's independence. Friends, the year was 1947, a time of immense upheaval and transformation for the Indian subcontinent. As India and Pakistan emerged as two new nations, the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir found itself at the center of heated conflict. And this was not just a territorial dispute, it was about defending sovereignty, managing new borders, and dealing with the chaos of partition. Ladies and gentlemen, Shri S.N. Prasad and Dharampal take us through the strategic decisions made by the Indian military as they moved to protect Kashmir. They describe the operation in detail, from the swift military responses to the fierce battle fought in the cold mountainous terrain of the region. And this was not just about land, it was about protecting people, establishing control, and maintaining the integrity of a nation in its infancy. So let's start. For understanding friends, we have divided this chapter into the following subheads. Friends, again welcome to all the viewers who have just joined it. Welcome to this special segment where we explore two pivotal military operations in Jammu and Kashmir, Operation Satyanash and Operation Cheeta. These operations were not just battle for the territory but defining moments that showcase India's resilience and military strategy post-independence. Friends, Operation Satyanash was launched to push back invading forces and secure key areas in Jammu, with Indian troops executing precise maneuver despite challenging terrain. A notable engagement at Siot helped establish control, although the operation faced difficulties due to harsh weather and rugged terrain. Operation Cheeta, on the other hand, aimed to create a buffer zone with detailed planning based on reconnaissance. The Cheetah force was a highly adaptable unit, and their aggressive execution secured victories such as decisive battle at Asar Kadala, which further stabilized the region. And these operations were vital in consolidating India's control over Jammu and Kashmir, preventing Pakistan's territorial ambitions and showcasing India's commitment to defending its border and ensuring regional stability. With this much of intro, let's jump into the topic. Let's first start with Operation Satyanash and Operation Cheeta. Friends, today we are diving into the two significant military operations that played a crucial role in securing Jammu and Kashmir for India in 1948. First up, Operation Satyanash. This was a decisive Indian military action aimed at safeguarding Jammu and Kashmir from an attempted annexation by Pakistan. Operation Satyanash was all about strategic offense and quick, decisive movement to reclaim and protect vital territories. The Indian forces acted with urgency and precision, ensuring that the region remained an integral part of India. This operation not only thwarted Pakistan's plan but also demonstrated India's commitment to defending its newly established borders. As we look closer at these operations, we will see how every move was calculated to secure peace and stability in a region fraught with tension. So let's understand how these battles were fought, the challenges they faced, and the strategic impact they had on shaping the future of Kashmir. Now let's shift our focus to another pivotal operation, Operation Cheeta. This was not just a conventional military action, it was a covert mission carried out by India's special forces. The goal was clear and critical: to eliminate Pakistani infiltrators in Jammu and Kashmir and protect the region's sovereignty. Friends, Operation Cheeta was all about precision and stealth. Indian special forces moved silently and strategically, targeting infiltrators who threatened the stability and security of Jammu and Kashmir. This mission underscored India's resolve to maintain control over its territory and protect its people from external threats. The success of Operation Cheeta highlighted the effectiveness of covert operation in securing national interest and showcased the bravery and skill of India's special forces. Friends, as we explore this operation further, we will see how it played a crucial role in reinforcing India's sovereignty over Jammu and Kashmir. Moving next. Friends, to fully understand the significance of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, we need to take a step back and look at the strategic context in this operations unfolded. This brings us to the Indo-Pakistani War of 1947-48, a critical conflict that shaped the future of disputed Jammu and Kashmir region. This war erupted shortly after the partition of India, when the newly formed states of India and Pakistan found themselves in a bitter struggle over Jammu and Kashmir. Both nations laid claim to this strategically vital region, which was not just a matter of territory but also a symbol of national identity and sovereignty. The stakes were incredibly high. For India, it was about securing its border and protecting its newly formed nation from external threats. And for Pakistan, it was an attempt to annex Kashmir based on its majority Muslim population. The war saw intense fighting marked by a series of military operations and engagements that would determine the control of this region. It was within this high-tension atmosphere that Operation Satyanash and Operation Cheeta were launched. These operations were vital to the Indian strategy to secure Jammu and Kashmir, prevent further incursion, and assert control over the region. And understanding this background is key to grasping the importance of these military actions and the strategic decisions that shaped the early years of independent India. Now let's talk about the India's objective during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1947-48. At the heart of India's strategy was clear and determined goal to secure Jammu and Kashmir and prevent Pakistan from annexing its critical region. For India, Jammu and Kashmir was not just a piece of territory. It was about safeguarding sovereignty, protecting the diverse population, and maintaining the integrity of newly independent nation. With Pakistan's aggressive attempt to seize the region, India's response had to be swift and decisive. The Indian leadership knew that controlling Jammu and Kashmir was vital for the national security. The region's strategic location meant that losing it would not only compromise the India's northern defense but also set a dangerous precedent for the future. And this is why India was committed to deploying all necessary resources to defend its claim over Jammu and Kashmir and ensure that its border were secure from any external threat. Friends, as we explore Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, we see how these objectives shaped the military actions taken by the India. Each operations were carefully planned and executed with the aim of neutralizing threats, maintaining control, and ensuring the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir under Indian governance. Now let's delve into the significance of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta. Friends, these operations were more than just military maneuver. They were a pivotal action that played a crucial role in shaping the future of Jammu and Kashmir. Operation Satyanash and Operation Cheeta were launched at the time when the very sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir was at stake. Pakistan was aggressively pushing its territory ambitions, aiming to annex the region through infiltration and military incursion. Whereas in response, India needed to act swiftly and decisively to counter these threats and ensure that Jammu and Kashmir remained an integral part of the country. These operations were not just about repelling invasion. They were about consolidating India's control over Jammu and Kashmir. And by successfully executing these military actions, India was able to thwart Pakistan's attempt to change the status quo and send a clear message about its commitment to defending its territorial integrity. The success of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta had a profound impact on the region. They stabilized the situation on the ground, secured key strategic locations, and strengthened India's position in Jammu and Kashmir. These operations demonstrated India's resolve to protect its border and maintain peace and stability in a region that was and remained a focal point of Indo-Pakistani relations. In essence, friends, these operations were instrumental in defining the boundaries of modern India and preserving its sovereignty over Jammu and Kashmir. Understanding their significance help us to appreciate the challenges and triumphs that have shaped the region's history. Moving next, let's talk about the Operation Satyanash and what it set out to achieve. Friends, the objective of this operation was straightforward yet critical: to decisively secure Jammu and Kashmir and prevent Pakistan's attempted annexation of the region. This was more than just military strategy. It was about safeguarding the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir and by extension, the sovereignty of India itself. Friends, from the very beginning, Operation Satyanash was planned with a clear mission in mind. The goal was to push back Pakistani forces and infiltrators who were trying to seize control of strategic areas within Jammu and Kashmir. Indian military planners knew that a strong and decisive response was necessary to protect the region and ensure it remained an integral part of India. The planning for Operation Satyanash involved a meticulous analysis of the terrain, enemy positions, and the logistics required to carry out a swift and effective campaign. It was a complex operation requiring coordination across different branches of the military and a clear understanding of the challenges posed by the rugged landscape and harsh weather conditions. Every move was calculated to maximize impact and minimize risks. The Indian forces aimed to achieve a quick and overwhelming victory that would not only secure the region but also send a strong message to the Pakistan and the world about India's determination to protect its territory. As we look deeper into the execution of Operation Satyanash, we will see how this objective shaped a very decision and action taken on the ground, ultimately leading to a significant victory for India in the early days of its independence. Now let's dive into the meticulous planning that went into the Operation Satyanash. This operation was not just about reacting to an immediate threat. It was about comprehensive military strategy designed to swiftly counter Pakistani infiltration and consolidate India's control over Jammu and Kashmir. The planning of Operation Satyanash was a masterclass in military strategy. It involved a multifaceted approach, combining ground forces, air support, and covert operations. The aim was to create a unified and overwhelming response that would catch the infiltrators off guard and quickly secure key strategic positions. On the ground, Indian troops were deployed with a clear mission: to engage and neutralize any enemy presence while securing vital routes and territories. These forces were prepared to fight in the challenging terrain of Jammu and Kashmir, where every hill and valley could become a battlefield. In the air, Indian pilots played a crucial role by providing reconnaissance, logistic supports, and, when necessary, direct skies against enemy positions. Friends, the air operations were carefully coordinated to ensure that the ground troops could advance with the maximum effectiveness and minimal resistance. And let's not forget the covert forces. These special units were tasked with gathering intelligence, disrupting enemy plans, and conducting targeted strikes against the key infiltrator groups. Their role was to create confusion and disrupt enemy communication, making it harder for the infiltrators to coordinate their effort. Friends, all of these elements came together in a carefully choreographed operation that demonstrated India's ability to conduct complex military campaigns with precision and effectiveness. As we explore the execution of Operation Satyanash, we will see how this detailed planning played out on the ground and in the skies, leading to a decisive outcome for India. Now let's turn our attention to the execution of Operation Satyanash, a meticulously coordinated military effort that showcased India's strategic prowess. The success of this operation hinged on the seamless collaboration between the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces, all working together to effectively neutralize Pakistani attempt to seize control of Jammu and Kashmir. From the outset, the Indian Army was at the forefront, moving swiftly across challenging terrain to engage and dislodge infiltrators. Every move was calculated and every action was executed with precision. The ground force were well prepared to handle the rugged landscape of Jammu and Kashmir, demonstrating remarkable agility and resilience in their maneuver. And supporting the army's advance was the Indian Air Force, playing a crucial role in operation success. The Air Force provided vital aerial recce, identifying enemy positions and movements and ensuring that the ground troops had the intelligence they need to act decisively. They also offered direct air support, launching strategic strikes to weaken enemy fortification and disrupt their plans. And then there was the Special Forces, India's covert warriors who operated behind the enemy lines. And these units were instrumental in gathering critical intelligence, executing surprise raids, and creating chaos amongst the enemy ranks. Friends, their ability to strike swiftly and silently added an extra layer of effectiveness to the operation, catching the infiltrators off guard and preventing them from mounting a cohesive defense. Together, these coordinated efforts formed a powerful response that not only halted Pakistan's ambitions but also firmly re-established India's control over Jammu and Kashmir. Friends, the execution of Operation Satyanash stands as a testament to India's military coordination and strategic capabilities, demonstrating a unified front in the face of external aggression. As we delve deeper into the outcome of this operation, it becomes clear that this was a defining moment in securing the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir and protecting India's territorial integrity. Let's dive into the initial action that set the stage for the Operation Satyanash. Friends, at the heart of this operation was rapid and decisive response by the Indian military to secure Jammu and Kashmir and counter any infiltrations attempt by the Pakistani forces. From the very beginning, the Indian Army and Air Force were mobilized swiftly. The strategy was clear: deploy to the key strategic locations across Jammu and Kashmir to establish control and prevent any enemy advances. And this was not just about reacting an immediate threat, but about proactively securing critical points that would be vital for maintaining the region's stability. As soon as the order was given, Indian Army moved quickly to these locations. Their goal was to create a robust defensive line, ensuring that no further infiltration could occur. And these troops were prepared for the difficult terrain and unpredictable weather, and their swift action was crucial in establishing an early advantage. Simultaneously, the Indian Air Force played a pivotal role in the initial phase of the operation. Aircraft were deployed to provide aerial support, conducting reconnaissance missions to identify enemy movements and positions. This intelligence was vital in guiding the ground troops and ensuring that they were well informed about the battlefield dynamics. Additionally, the Air Force was prepared to carry out air strikes if necessary to disrupt and weaken the enemy forces attempting to infiltrate. This rapid and coordinated deployment was a decisive move that caught the enemy off guard and prevented them from gaining a foothold in this region. Ladies and gentlemen, by securing these strategic locations early on, the Indian forces were able to establish a strong presence in Jammu and Kashmir, setting the stage for the continued success of Operation Satyanash. As we move forward, we'll see how these initial actions were just the beginning of comprehensive strategy to maintain control over the Jammu and Kashmir and protect India's sovereignty. Let's now explore the tactical maneuver that defined the success of Operation Satyanash. This operation was not just about deploying forces. It was about executing a well-coordinated strategy that involved ground, air, and covert operations, all working in unison to secure Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian Army led the charge on the ground, conducting detailed reconnaissance mission to pinpoint the location of Pakistani infiltrators. Armed with this intelligence, the ground forces then moved swiftly to engage the enemy, using a combination of infantry and artillery to overwhelm the infiltrators. Every move was calculated, every engagement was deliberate, aiming to neutralize threats quickly and efficiently. In the skies above, the Indian Air Force played a crucial role in these tactical maneuvers. Their mission was to provide aerial surveillance, keeping a constant watch over enemy movement and ensuring that any attempt to regroup or reinforce were quickly thwarted. The Air Force was also prepared to deliver precision strikes against enemy positions, disrupting their plans and supporting the ground troops in their advance. But it did not stop there. covert operations added another layer to this multifaceted strategy. Special forces units were deployed behind enemy lines, tasked with gathering vital intelligence, executing surprise attacks, and sabotaging enemy supply lines. These covert actions created confusion and fear among these infiltrators, making it difficult for them to mount an organized defense. Together, these coordinated efforts created a comprehensive approach to securing the region's border, and by identifying, engaging, and eliminating the infiltrators, the Indian forces were able to effectively neutralize the threat and solidify the control over Jammu and Kashmir. These tactical maneuvers were not just about immediate victory, but also about ensuring long-term stability and security of the region. As we continue exploring Operation Satyanash, it becomes clear how these maneuvers played a critical role in shaping the outcome of this pivotal conflict. Now let's talk about the consolidation of control, a critical phase of Operation Satyanash that truly underscored its success. After the intense tactical maneuver and coordinated military actions, it was time to solidify the gains and ensure that Jammu and Kashmir remained firmly under India's sovereignty. The comprehensive military strategy of Operation Satyanash was brilliantly executed and the results were clear. The Indian Army, Air Force and Special Forces had worked in perfect harmony to identify, engage and eliminate the Pakistani infiltrators. But the mission did not end there. It was essential to maintain the momentum and secure the region to prevent any further threats. By effectively neutralizing the enemy, India was able to establish a strong presence across Jammu and Kashmir. Key strategic locations were secured, supply lines were stabilized, and defensive positions were fortified. This not only prevented any further infiltration attempts but also sent a strong message to Pakistan and the international community. Jammu and Kashmir was an integral part of India, and its sovereignty would be vigorously defended. Ladies and gentlemen, this successful implementation of a comprehensive military strategy allowed India to not just defend its territory but also lay down the foundation for peace and stability in the region. The operation's success was a testament to the bravery and determination of Indian armed forces, who fought tirelessly to uphold the sovereignty of their nation. As we reflect on Operation Satyanash, it's clear that this was more than just a military victory. It was a defining moment that reaffirmed India's commitment to protecting its border and securing its future as a united and a sovereign nation. The consolidation of control over Jammu and Kashmir was a crucial step in shaping the region's destiny. It continues to resonate in geopolitics of South Asia today. Moving next, now let's focus on one of the most intense encounters during Operation Satyanash, the combat at Siot. This was not just another skirmish, it was a fierce clash between India and Pakistani forces, each vying for the control over the strategic town of Siot. Siot was more than just a small town in Jammu and Kashmir. It was a key battleground that held immense strategic value. Its location made it a crucial point for controlling movement and supply lines in the region. Both India and Pakistan understood the importance of holding Siot, and this led to some of the fiercest fighting seen in the conflict. As Indian forces advanced to secure Siot, they encountered strong resistance from Pakistani troops who were determined to hold their ground. What followed was a series of intense battles, with both sides fighting with everything they had. The terrain was challenging, and the conditions were harsh, but the determination and the bravery of the Indian soldiers shone through. Through a combination of superior tactics, effective coordination between the ground troops and air support, and sheer grit, the Indian forces were able to push back the Pakistani troops and secure control over Siot. The victory was crucial not just for its immediate tactical value, but also for its symbolic significance. It marked a turning point in the Battle of Jammu and Kashmir, showcasing India's resolve to defend every inch of its territory. Friends, The combats at Siot is remembered as a defining moment in Operation Satyanash. It was a testament to the courage and tenacity of the Indian soldiers who fought to ensure that Jammu and Kashmir would remain a part of India. The battle for Siot demonstrated that when it comes to defending its sovereignty, India is prepared to fight with all its might. As we continue to explore these operations, it is clear that the engagement at places like Siot were not just battles. They were pivotal moments that shaped the future of the region and reinforced India's position in Jammu and Kashmir. Let's take a closer look at the tactical maneuver that played out during the fierce combat at Siot. This was a critical moment in Operation Satyanash, where the Indian Army and Air Force demonstrated their strategic brilliance and coordination to outmaneuver and defeat the Pakistani infiltrators in this key battleground. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle for Siot was not just about brute force. It was about strategy, precision, and the element of surprise. Understanding the terrain and the enemy tactics, the Indian military employed a multi-layered approach, combining ground assault, air support, and covert operations to gain the upper hand. On the ground, Indian Army units moved swiftly and strategically, using the rugged terrain to their advantage. They executed flanking maneuvers to encircle enemy positions, cutting off supply lines and isolating Pakistani troops. This forced the infiltrators into defensive positions, making them vulnerable to the further attacks. Above, the Indian force provided crucial support, conducting aerial recce to identify enemy movement and positions. The real-time intelligence allowed ground forces to adapt their tactics dynamically, ensuring that every move was calculated and effective. When needed, the Air Force also launched precision airstrikes, targeting enemy fortifications and disrupting their ability to regroup or counterattack. Adding another layer to these maneuvers were the covert operations carried out by the special forces. These units operated behind the enemy lines, gathering critical intelligence and conducting surprise raids on the key positions. Their actions created confusion among the Pakistani infiltrators, undermining their morale and disrupting their coordination. And together, these coordinated ground, air, and covert operations formed a comprehensive strategy that effectively neutralized the threat at the Siot. The Indian military ability to outthink and outmaneuver their opponents was on full display, showcasing their tactical expertise and commitment to defending their territory. Friends, the success at the Siot was not just a tactical victory. It was a powerful demonstration of India's resolve and capability to protect Jammu and Kashmir. And as we explore further into the Operation Satyanash, it is clear that these tactical maneuvers were pivotal in securing the region and asserting India's sovereignty over its rightful territory. Now let's talk about the outcome of the engagement at Siot, a decisive moment in Operation Satyanash that significantly impacted the conflict over Jammu and Kashmir. Ladies and gentlemen, this engagement was not just another battle. It was a turning point that showcased India's military prowess and determination to defend its territory. The fierce combat at Siot culminated in a decisive Indian victory, and through coordinated ground assaults, strategic air support, and effective covert operations, the Indian forces were able to outmaneuver and defeat the Pakistani infiltrators. The victory at Siot was not just about defeating the enemy in battle, it was about securing a crucial strategic location that was vital for the defense of Jammu and Kashmir. And with the successful outcome at Siot, India was able to consolidate its control over the region. This victory prevented Pakistan from gaining a foothold in Jammu and Kashmir, thwarting their attempt to annex the region and change the status quo. It was a significant blow to Pakistan's ambition and a clear demonstration of India's resolve to protect its border. The Indian forces' ability to decisively defeat the enemy at Siot sent a strong message, both to Pakistan and to the world. India would not back down when it came to defending its sovereignty and territorial integrity. This victory was a testament to the bravery, skill, and coordination of the Indian military, which worked tirelessly to ensure the security of Jammu and Kashmir. The outcome of the engagement at Siot was more than just a tactical win. It was a strategic triumph that reinforced India's position in Jammu and Kashmir and paved the way for continued effort to maintain peace and stability in the region. As we continue to examine the events of Operation Satyanash, it is clear that the victory at Siot was a defining moment that shaped the future of Jammu and Kashmir and underscored India's commitment to its sovereignty. Now let's turn our attention to the challenges that the Indian forces faced during Operation Satyanash. It was not just the enemy that posed a threat. A very landscape and a weather of Jammu and Kashmir presented formidable obstacles that had to be overcome. First and foremost, the rugged mountainous terrain of Jammu and Kashmir was a significant challenge. The region's steep slope, deep valleys, and rocky outcrop made movement difficult and dangerous. For the Indian forces, maneuvering through this challenging terrain required incredible skill, endurance, and careful planning. Every step was a test of their ability to navigate the unforgiving landscape while remaining vigilant against potential ambushes from infiltrators hiding in the mountain. On top of that, the harsh winter condition added another layer of difficulty. The freezing temperatures, heavy snowfall, and icy winds make every operation more challenging. The cold weather not only tested the physical limits of the soldiers but also complicated logistical supports. Maintaining supply lines, transporting equipments, and ensuring communication in such severe conditions require immense effort and ingenuity. These conditions made it clear that Operation Satyanash was as much a battle against the element as it was against the enemy. The Indian forces had to adapt their strategies to account for these harsh realities, often relying on their training and resourcefulness to overcome the logistical and operational challenges they faced. Despite these formidable obstacles, the Indian forces pressed on with determination and resilience. Their ability to operate effectively in such difficult conditions was a testament to their preparation, discipline, and unwavering commitment to the mission. As we reflect on Operation Satyanash, it is important to remember that these challenges were not just barriers. They were tests of endurance and resolve that the Indian force met head-on. Friends, overcoming the rugged terrain and harsh climate of Jammu and Kashmir was crucial to the success of the operation and underscored the bravery and tenacity of the soldiers fighting to protect their country's sovereignty. Let's delve into another significant challenge that the Indian force faced during Operation Satyanash: the tactics employed by the Pakistani infiltrators. And this was not a conventional war. It was a conflict marked by infiltration and the guerrilla warfare, designed to harass and disrupt the Indian control over Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani infiltrators were well versed in the guerrilla tactics, utilized a range of unconventional strategies to create chaos and instability. One of their main tactics was infiltration, slipping across the border under the cover of darkness or blending in with the local population to avoid detection. Friends, once inside, these infiltrators aimed to establish a foothold, gathering intelligence and preparing for further operations. But their strategy did not stop at infiltration. The guerrilla warfare technique they employed were particularly challenging for the Indian forces. These tactics included ambushes, sudden surprise attacks on Indian patrols or supply convoys, aimed at catching soldiers off guard and causing maximum damage. The infiltrators would then quickly retreat, disappearing into the rugged terrain before Indian forces could mount a full response. Additionally, the infiltrators used hit-and-run tactics, swift aggressive strikes against isolated posts or units, and these attacks were designed to disrupt Indian control, create fear and confusion, and stretch Indian forces thin across the region. The goal was to make it difficult for the Indian military to maintain a consistent presence and secure a region effectively. The use of these guerrilla tactics posed a unique challenge for the Indian forces. They had to remain constant vigilant, adapt their strategies to counter these unconventional methods, and ensure that they were prepared for sudden, unpredictable engagements. Ladies and gentlemen, the unpredictable nature of guerrilla warfare made it a battle of wits and endurance. requiring Indian soldiers to be flexible, resourceful, and ready for anything. Despite these challenges, the Indian forces remained resolute. Through a combination of tactical ingenuity, intelligence gathering, and relentless determination, they were able to counter these guerrilla tactics and maintain control over Jammu and Kashmir. Understanding these infiltration and guerrilla tactics gives us insight into the complexity of Operation Satyanash and the immense challenge faced by the Indian military. It was a conflict that tested not just the strength but the adaptability and resolve of India's armed forces, proving their ability to overcome even most unpredictable and unconventional threats. Now let's explore one of the key factors that led to the success of Operation Satyanash, the seamless coordination between Indian Army, Air Force and Special Forces. In a complex operation like this, where the stakes were incredibly high, it was this coordination that made all the difference. The Indian Army was at forefront, engaging in direct combat with Pakistani infiltrators on the ground. They moved strategically across the challenging terrain of Jammu and Kashmir, employing maneuver that outflanked and surrounded enemy positions. The ground troops were the backbone of the operation, confronting the infiltrators head-on and securing key areas to maintain control over the region. But the ground operations were only one part of this story. The Indian force played a crucial role by providing aerial recce and support. The skies were their domain and they used their advantage to monitor enemy movement and relay vital intelligence back to the ground forces. When needed, they conducted precision airstrikes, targeting enemy hideouts and disrupting their plans. This air support was invaluable, giving the army a clear picture of the battlefield and allowing them to adjust their tactics in real time. Meanwhile, the special force operated covertly behind enemy lines, gathering intelligence and disrupting supply lines and carrying out surprise attack on key positions. These elite units were essential in creating confusion among the infiltrators, making it difficult for them to organize a coordinated defense. Their actions helped to undermine the enemy morale and played a critical role in overall strategy of the operation. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of Operation Satyanash was largely due to this seamless coordination between the different branches of the Indian military. The ability to integrate ground, air and covert operations into a cohesive strategy allowed India to outmaneuver and defeat the Pakistani infiltrators effectively. Every branch of military worked in tandem, sharing intelligence, supporting each other's effort, and adapting to the evolving situation on the ground. This coordination was not just about military precision. It was about communication, trust, and a shared commitment to the mission. The Indian forces demonstrated that when they were together, they are capable of overcoming even the most challenging circumstances and defending their nation's sovereignty. As we reflect on the success of Operation Satyanash, it is clear that the operation stands as a testament to the power of unified action and strategic coordination, showing the world that India's military is a formidable force when united in purpose and resolve. Now let's turn our focus to the Operation Cheeta, another crucial military operation that played a key role in safeguarding Jammu and Kashmir. The objective of Operation Cheeta was clear and decisive: to eliminate Pakistani infiltrators who had entered the region and in doing so protect Jammu and Kashmir sovereignty while consolidating India's control over this strategically vital area. In the wake of escalating tensions and ongoing conflicts, the presence of infiltrators posed a significant threat to the stability and security of Jammu and Kashmir. These infiltrators were not just regular soldiers, they were trained to blend into local terrain and population, using guerrilla tactics to disrupt Indian forces and challenges their control over the region. Understanding the severity of this threat, Indian military planners devised Operation Cheeta as a targeted mission to neutralize these infiltrators swiftly and effectively. The planning phase involved extensive intelligence gathering to identify the locations, movements, and strategies of the enemy. It was crucial to know not just where they were, but how they operated, what routes they used, what their supply lines looked like, and how they communicated. With this intelligence in hand, the Indian forces meticulously planned a coordinated operation that involved multiple branches of the military. Ground troops were prepared to sweep through key areas, supported by the precise airstrikes and reconnaissance mission by the Air Force. Meanwhile, special forces were tasked with carrying out covert operations to hit high-value targets and disrupt the infiltrators' plan. The success of Operation Cheeta relied heavily on this detailed planning and ability to adapt to the dynamic nature of guerrilla warfare. The objective was not just to remove a threat, but to send a clear message that India was committed to protecting Jammu and Kashmir and would take decisive action to ensure its sovereignty and stability. Friends, as we delve deeper into the Operation Cheeta, we'll see how this operation was a testament to the resolve and strategic capability of the Indian military, demonstrating that India would go to any length to defend its territory and maintain control over Jammu and Kashmir. Let's delve into the covert side of Operation Cheeta, where meticulous planning and the strategic deployment of special forces played a pivotal role in operation success. This was not just a conventional military operation, it involved a level of stealth and precision that demonstrated the prowess of India's elite units. The primary goal of Operation Cheeta was to neutralize the Pakistani infiltrators who had slipped into the Jammu and Kashmir, posing a direct threat to India's security and sovereignty. These infiltrators were adept at guerrilla warfare, making them difficult to track and even harder to engage using standard military tactics. And that's where the special forces came in. Covert planning for this operation was extensive. Indian military strategists understood that to outmaneuver these infiltrators, they need a plan that was as stealthy and unpredictable as the enemy they were facing. This meant deploying special forces who could operate behind enemy lines, blend into the terrain, and strike with precision. The planning phase involved gathering detailed intelligence about the infiltrators' locations, movements, and hideouts. And this intelligence was crucial in developing a strategy that would allow the special forces to infiltrate enemy territory undetected. Every aspect of the operation was meticulously planned, from the routes the force would take to avoid detection to the timing of their strikes to ensure maximum impact. And once the plan was set, special forces units were deployed in a series of stealth infiltration, moving under the cover of darkness and using the natural terrain to their advantage. These elite soldiers silently approached their targets. Their mission was clear: conducted targeted strikes to eliminate high-value targets, disrupt enemy operations, and create confusion among the infiltrators. Ladies and gentlemen, these covert operations required a high level of skill, coordination, and precision. The special forces had to be ready for anything, adapting on the fly to the constantly changing the dynamics of guerrilla warfare. Their success in these operations was a testament to their training, discipline, and a careful planning that went into every move. Through these covert actions, Operation Cheeta successfully neutralized many of the infiltrators, striking a significant blow to their ability to operate in Jammu and Kashmir. The meticulous planning and execution of these special forces operation demonstrated India's capability to conduct complex, high-risk missions to protect its sovereignty and maintain control over its territory. As we continue to explore Operation Cheeta, it is clear that the covert planning and deployment of special forces were crucial in achieving the operation's objective, showcasing India's military adaptability and commitment to defending its nation against any threat. Now let's focus on the backbone of Operation Cheeta, the elite Indian Special Forces. These highly trained and experienced units were crucial to the operation's success, executing a covert mission that would secure Jammu and Kashmir from the threat of Pakistani infiltrators. In a mission as complex and high stakes as Operation Cheeta, the role of special forces cannot be understated. These elite units were chosen for their exceptional skills, rigorous training, and ability to operate under extreme conditions. They were not just soldiers, they were specialists, adept at executing covert operations with precision and stealth. Deployed deep into the enemy territory, the special forces were tasked with a mission that required them to remain unseen, unheard, but always one step ahead. Their objective was clear: to eliminate the infiltrators and dismantle their networks, thereby safeguarding the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir. The deployment of these elite units involved more than just sending troops into the field. It required careful planning and in-depth understanding of the terrain, the enemy tactics, and the overall strategic objectives of the operation. These soldiers had to be adaptable, able to think on their feet and respond swiftly to any changes in the situation. Operating under the cover of darkness and often in harsh, unpredictable conditions, these special forces demonstrated incredible bravery and tenacity. They navigated through treacherous terrain, carried out stealth infiltrations, and launched targeted strikes that took the enemy by surprise. Every move was executed with surgical precision, leaving no rooms for error. The success of these missions was a testament for the training and discipline of India's special forces. Their actions not only neutralized the immediate threat posed by the infiltrators, but also sent a powerful message about India's capability and resolve. By securing Jammu and Kashmir through these covert operations, they played a pivotal role in consolidating India's control over the region. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, it is clear that the deployment of these elite units was a game changer. Their special forces embodied the spirit of courage and professionalism that defines India's military, proving once again that they are more than capable of defending the nation against any threat, no matter how unconventional or challenging. Let's now take a closer look at the composition of Cheetah forces. The elite group behind the success of Operation Cheetah. This force was not just any military unit. It was a specially assembled team of some of the India's most highly trained and experienced special forces. Their mission was clear and critical: to carry out covert operations and eliminate Pakistani infiltrators in Jammu and Kashmir. The Cheetah force was a formidable combination of India's finest soldiers brought together for these high-stake operations. These units were carefully selected for their exceptional skills, rigorous training, and experience in executing complex missions under extreme conditions. They were the best of the best equipped to handle the unique challenges posed by this operation. And at the heart of Cheetah forces were the covert special force units, soldiers trained in stealth, precision, and guerrilla warfare. These operatives were expert in carrying out missions that required them to move silently and invisibly, striking the enemy with speed and efficiency. Their training covered everything from advanced combat tactics to survival skill in harsh environment, making them perfectly suited for the mission at hand. The composition of Cheetah force was designed to maximize versatility and effectiveness. Each unit had a specific role, whether it was reconnaissance, direct action, or demolition. This structure allowed them to operate independently yet cohesively, adapting quickly to the dynamic nature of the battlefield. The forces could conduct intelligence gathering missions, launch surprise attacks, and neutralize high-value targets, all while remaining undetected by the enemy. These covert operations were not just about eliminating the infiltrators. They were about dismantling their networks and cutting off their support. The Special Forces unit infiltrated deep behind the enemy lines, using their expertise to gather intelligence, disrupt enemy supply lines, and create chaos within their ranks. Their action was instrumental in destabilizing the infiltrators and ensuring that they could not regroup or pose further threats. The Cheetah force represented the pinnacle of India's military capability, embodying a spirit of courage, professionalism, and relentless determination. Their success in Operation Cheetah was a testament to their skill and the careful planning that went into their deployment. Friends, as we continue to explore Operation Cheetah, it is clear that the composition of Cheetah Force was a key factor in its success. These Special Forces units played a pivotal role in securing Jammu and Kashmir, showcasing India's resolve to protect its territory against any and all threats. Now let's delve into the stealth infiltration and targeted strikes that defined the action of Cheetah Force during Operation Cheetah. This operation was all about precision, stealth and surprise, key elements that were crucial in neutralizing the Pakistani infiltrators and protecting the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir. The Special Force units of the Cheetah Force were masters of stealth. Their training emphasized moving silently and unseen, often under the cover of darkness or utilizing the rugged terrain to their advantage. These soldiers could navigate through the most challenging environments, slipping past enemy lines without detection. This ability to infiltrate stealthily was essential, as it allowed them to get close to their targets without alerting the infiltrators. And once they were in position, the next phase of the mission came into play: targeted strikes. These were not random attacks. Each strike was meticulously planned and executed with precision. The Special Forces used the intelligence they had gathered to identify high-value targets, enemy leaders, supply routes, and communication hubs. And by focusing on these critical points, they were able to cause maximum disruption to the infiltrators' operation. The precision strikes were executed with speed and accuracy, using a combination of advanced weaponry and close-quarter combat techniques. These attacks were designed to be swift and decisive, leaving the enemy no time to react or counterattack. The goal was clear: to eliminate the threat quickly and efficiently, minimizing collateral damage and ensuring the safety of civilians in the region. The effectiveness of these stealth infiltration and targeted strikes was evident in their results. The Special Forces were able to neutralize the significant number of infiltrators, dismantle their networks, and prevent any further incursions. This not only protected the sovereignty of Jammu and Kashmir, but also sent a strong message that India was prepared to defend its territory with all its might. Ladies and gentlemen, Operation Cheetah's success was largely due to the extraordinary skill and bravery of these Special Forces units. Their ability to operate undetected, strike with precision, and achieve their objectives without compromising their mission is a testament to their training and dedication. As we look back on Operation Cheetah, it is clear that these stealth infiltration technique and targeted strikes were critical in securing Jammu and Kashmir. They demonstrated India's capability to conduct sophisticated military operations, protecting its borders and upholding its sovereignty against any threat. Let's explore the critical aspect of Operation Cheetah that contributed significantly to its success: the coordination with conventional forces. This operation was not carried out in isolation. It was a masterclass in strategic collaboration between the Cheetah Force, the Indian Army, and the Indian Air Force. And together, they worked seamlessly to outmaneuver and defeat the Pakistani infiltrators, thereby consolidating India's control over Jammu and Kashmir. The Cheetah Force, with its highly trained Special Force units, specialized in stealth infiltrations and targeted strikes. However, their covert operations were part of larger integrated strategy. And to maximize the effectiveness of these missions, close coordination with the conventional forces of the Indian military was essential. This meant that every move made by the Cheetah Force was synchronized with the broader objective of the Indian Army and Air Force. The Indian Army provided the backbone of ground operations, engaging in direct combat with infiltrators and securing key areas across Jammu and Kashmir. The army presence on the ground created a secure environment for Special Forces to carry out their covert missions. And by controlling strategic locations, they limited the movement of enemy forces, making it easier for the Cheetah Force to identify and target infiltrators. At the same time, the Indian Air Force played a vital supporting role. They conducted aerial recce to gather real-time intelligence on enemy positions and movements, which was then shared with both the Cheetah Force and the army. This intelligence was crucial for planning precise strikes and ensuring that all units were aligned in their effort. Additionally, the Air Force provided air support when needed, conducting strikes that softened enemy defenses and facilitated ground operations. This close coordination between the Cheetah force and the conventional force was a key to outmaneuvering the Pakistani infiltrators. And by leveraging the strength of each component, the stealth and the precision of the Cheetah force, the strategic ground presence of the army, and the aerial capability of the Air Force, India was able to execute a comprehensive strategy that overwhelmed the enemy. The result was a decisive consolidation of control over Jammu and Kashmir. The seamless integration of special conventional forces showcased India's military prowess, demonstrating its ability to execute complex operations with precision and effectiveness. As we reflect on Operation Cheetah, it is evident that this coordination was not just a tactical necessity but a strategic advantage. It allowed India to protect its sovereignty, maintain regional stability, and affirm its commitment to defending its border against any threat. Moving next, let's dive into the execution plan of Operation Cheetah and how the concentration of forces played a crucial role in its success. Ladies and gentlemen, this operation was meticulously planned to ensure that every move was strategic, every deployment precise, and every action coordinated among the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces units. The cornerstone of Operation Cheetah execution was a concentration of forces. This strategy involved deploying the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces to key strategic locations across Jammu and Kashmir. And by focusing these efforts on these critical points, the Indian military aimed to outmaneuver the Pakistani infiltrators and secure the region. The Indian Army was tasked with holding the ground, creating a robust defensive line at these strategic locations. Their presence was crucial in establishing control over key areas and preventing further infiltrations. And with well-planned maneuver, the army units positioned themselves to block the enemy's advance, cut off supply routes, and secure vital communication lines. Simultaneously, the Indian Air Force played a pivotal role in the operation. They conducted aerial recce to provide real-time intelligence, which was vital for planning the movement of ground forces and special units. In addition, the Air Force was ready to deliver the precision airstrike on identified enemy positions, disrupting the infiltrators' plan and supporting the army's effort on the ground. Meanwhile, the special force units of the Cheetah Force were deployed with a specific mission: to execute covert operations behind enemy lines. Their role was to infiltrate enemy territory stealthily, gather intelligence, and carry out targeted strikes on high-value targets. These operations were designed to create chaos within the enemy ranks, making it difficult for them to organize a cohesive defense. The coordination among these forces were key to the operation's success, and by concentrating their efforts and working in unison, the Indian military was able to create a multi-layered defense that effectively countered the infiltrators. The army's stronghold on the ground provided a stable base for the operations. The Air Force aerial support ensured dominance in the skies, and the Special Forces covert action kept the enemy constantly on the back foot. This concentration of forces allowed India to outmaneuver and decisively defeat the Pakistani infiltrators, consolidating control over Jammu and Kashmir. And it was a demonstration of India's military capability and its commitment to defending its territory. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look back on Operation Cheetah, it is clear that the execution plan focused on coordinated deployment and concentrated efforts, which was instrumental in achieving its objective. It showcased the power of unified strategy, where every branch of military worked together to protect the nation's sovereignty and maintain regional stability. Now let's explore the tactical plan of the Cheetah Force, the backbone of Operation Cheetah. The plan was all about using highly trained special Indian forces to conduct covert operations with precision and stealth, ensuring the elimination of Pakistani infiltrators and securing the region of Jammu and Kashmir. Friends, the Cheetah Force was composed of India's most elite special forces, units, handpicked for their expertise in unconventional warfare and ability to operate under the radar. These soldiers were not just fighters. They were specialists in stealth and precision, capable of executing complex missions in the most challenging conditions. The tactical plan for Cheetah forces focused on two key elements: stealthy infiltration and precision strikes. The operation began with the covert infiltration of these special forces into enemy's held territory. And using this extensive training in the navigation, survival, and evasion, they moved silently and unseen, blending into the terrain and avoiding detection. This stealthy approach allowed them to gather critical intelligence on enemy's position, movement, and strategies without alerting the infiltrators. And once the Cheetah force had gathered enough intelligence and identified key targets, they shifted to the second phase of the mission, that is precision strikes. These strikes were meticulously planned, targeting high-value infiltrators and crucial enemy infrastructure. The objective was to hit the enemy where it hurt the most, disrupting their operations and weakening their ability to pose a threat. The precision strikes were carried out with surgical accuracy. Utilizing advanced weaponry and close-quarter combat skills, the special forces were able to eliminate targets swiftly and effectively. These attacks were designed to be quick and decisive, leaving the enemy no time to react or regroup. By focusing on strategic targets, the Cheetah force were able to dismantle enemy networks and create chaos within their ranks. The success of the tactical plan for the Cheetah force relied on meticulous planning, flawless execution, and the ability to adapt to the rapidly changing situations on the ground. The special forces operated with a high degree of autonomy, making split-second decisions to achieve their objectives while maintaining the element of surprise. And through these covert operations, the Cheetah forces played a crucial role in Operation Cheeta, neutralizing the infiltrators and securing Jammu and Kashmir. Their actions were a testament to the courage, skill, and dedication of India's elite soldiers, who went above and beyond to protect the country's sovereignty. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, it became clear that the tactical plan for the Cheetah force was instrumental in achieving the operation's goal. It demonstrated India's ability to conduct sophisticated military operations, utilizing stealth and precision to defend its territory and ensure the safety and security of Jammu and Kashmir. Now let's focus on the vital component of Operation Cheeta, the seamless coordination of conventional and covert forces. This operation was not just about deploying special forces. It was about synchronizing the action of the Cheetah force with the Indian Army and Air Force to maximize the effectiveness of their combined capability and ensure control over Jammu and Kashmir. The success of Operation Cheeta lay in its ability to integrate various military branches into the unified force. The Cheetah force, composed of highly trained special forces, was tasked with carrying out covert operations to eliminate Pakistani infiltrators. Their stealthy infiltration and precision strikes require a level of agility and secrecy that only special forces could provide. However, these covert operations were part of larger strategy that relied heavily on the support and coordination with the conventional forces. The Indian Army was deployed across key strategic locations to establish a firm ground presence, securing vital positions and creating a stable environment for the Cheetah forces to operate. The army role was crucial in holding the territory and preventing enemy's movement, effectively setting the stage for the special forces mission. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force played a pivotal role in providing the aerial recce and support. By monitoring enemy movements from above, the Air Force could relay real-time intelligence to both the Army and the Cheetah Force, ensuring that all units were aligned and aware of the evolving battlefield dynamics. The Air Force also conducted precision airstrikes when needed, targeting enemy positions and providing cover for ground operations. This close synchronization between the Cheetah Force the Army, and the Air Force was key to the operation's success. And by leveraging the unique strength of each branch, India was able to create a multi-dimensional approach that effectively neutralized the infiltrators. The Army's stronghold on the ground provided stability, the Air Force aerial capability ensured dominance in the skies, and the Special Forces covert actions disrupted enemy plans and eliminated threats. Through this coordinated effort, Operation Cheeta was able to consolidate control over Jammu and Kashmir, securing the region and protecting its sovereignty. The operations demonstrated the power of integrated military actions, where every branch of the armed forces worked in unison to achieve a common goal. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look back on Operation Cheeta, it is clear that the coordination of conventional and covert forces was not just a tactical necessity but a strategic triumph. It showcased India's ability to execute complex military operations with precision and effectiveness, ensuring the security of its border and the stability of the region. Moving next, let's delve into the tactical maneuver that made Operation Cheeta so effective, particularly the use of ambush and surprise tactics. These tactics were at the heart of the operation, allowing Indian forces to outsmart and neutralize Pakistani infiltrators with precision and stealth. The Cheetah force, composed of elite Indian Special Forces, was trained to operate under the radar and strike without warning. Their mission required them to blend them into the environment, gather intelligence, and then execute swift, decisive actions that caught the enemy off guard. This ability to employ stealth infiltration was a key component of their success. Ladies and gentlemen, by moving silently through the rugged terrain of Jammu and Kashmir, the Special Forces could get close to the enemy positions without being detected. They used the natural landscape to their advantage, navigating through the dense forest, rocky outcrop, and mountainous regions to position themselves for an ambush. This element of surprise was crucial. It disoriented the infiltrators and left them vulnerable to swift attacks. Once in position, the Cheetah force launched precision strikes designed to neutralize high-value targets and disrupt enemy operations. These strikes were carefully planned and executed with surgical accuracy, ensuring that enemy was taken out quickly and efficiently. The infiltrators expecting conventional engagements were often unprepared for a sudden and precise attacks from the Special Forces. The ambush and surprise tactics were not just about eliminating the enemy, they were about psychological warfare as well. And by striking swiftly and disappearing just as quickly, the Cheetah force created an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty among the infiltrators. They never knew when or where the next attack would come, making it difficult for them to organize or mount a counter-offensive. The success of these tactics relied on the exceptional training, discipline, and adaptability of the Indian Special Forces. Their ability to execute these maneuvers under pressure, often in challenging and unpredictable conditions, demonstrated their unparalleled skill and commitment to their mission. And through these ambush and surprise attacks, Operation Cheeta effectively neutralized the infiltrators, securing Jammu and Kashmir and reinforcing India's control over the region. This operation showcased the Indian military ability to adapt to unconventional threats and execute complex tactical maneuver with precision and efficiency. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, it is clear that these tactics were not just about winning battles. They were about protecting the nation's sovereignty and maintaining stability in a region fraught with challenges. The success of these maneuvers underscore the bravery and expertise of India's Special Forces, who remain ever vigilant in the defense of their country. Let's take a closer look at the strategic movements that were integral to the success of Operation Cheeta. The operation was not just a series of isolated actions, it was a meticulously planned and coordinated effort by the Indian Army, Air Force, and its Special Forces to outmaneuver and defeat the Pakistani infiltrators in Jammu and Kashmir. The cornerstone of Operation Cheeta's success was the precise deployment of forces to the key strategic locations. The Indian Army played a crucial role in this plan by establishing control over the vital areas and creating strong defensive positions. Their presence on the ground was essential for maintaining stability and preventing enemy movement. The army's strategic positioning ensured that any infiltrators attempting to advance were quickly intercepted and neutralized. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force provided invaluable support from the skies. By conducting aerial recce mission, the Air Force was able to gather real-time intelligence on enemy movement and relay this information to both the Army and Special Forces units. This aerial advantage allowed the Indian military to anticipate the enemy's action and respond swiftly. Additionally, when necessary, the Air Force executed precision airstrikes to weaken enemy positions and disrupt their plans, further bolstering the effort of the ground forces. The Special Forces units, known as the Cheetah Force, were the third crucial element in this strategic trifecta. These elite soldiers were deployed covertly to carry out targeted operations behind enemy lines. Their mission was to infiltrate enemy territory stealthily, gather critical intelligence, and execute precision strikes against high-value targets. And by operating in the shadow, the Cheetah Force were able to disrupt the enemy's coordination and create confusion, making it difficult for them to mount a cohesive defense. The success of Operation Cheeta hinged onto the coordination and synchronization of these three branches of the Indian military. And by working together and leveraging their combined strength, they were able to create a comprehensive strategy that overwhelmed the infiltrators. The Army's ground presence established a firm base of operation. The Air Force aerial support provided critical intelligence and firepower, and the Special Forces covert action disrupted and dismantled enemy's network. These strategic movements not only outmaneuvered the Pakistani infiltrators but also secured India's control over Jammu and Kashmir, protecting the region's sovereignty and maintaining stability. The operations demonstrated the India's military ability to adapt to complex challenges and execute coordinated actions with precision and effectiveness. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, it is clear that these strategic movements were a key factor in the success. They showcase the power of unified action and the importance of coordination in military operations, underscoring the India's commitment to defending its territory and ensuring peace in the region. Now let's talk about the crucial elements that contributed significantly to the success of Operation Cheeta: the coordination of forces. This operation was a testament to the power of strategic synchronization, where the Cheetah Force, Indian Army, and Indian Air Force worked in perfect harmony to achieve a common goal: consolidating control over Jammu and Kashmir. The Cheetah Force, comprising highly trained Special Force units, were tasked with executing covert operations to eliminate Pakistani infiltrators. Their missions involved stealth infiltration and precision strikes, often carried out under the cover of darkness and deep behind enemy lines. However, the success of these operations was not achieved in isolation. It required close coordination with the conventional forces on the ground and in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, the Indian Army played a pivotal role in coordinating effort by maintaining a strong presence across the key strategic locations. By holding the critical ground and blocking enemy movement, the Army created a secure environment that allowed the Cheetah Force to operate effectively and with a high degree of safety. At the same time, Indian Air Force brought its own set of capabilities to the table. The Air Force conducted continuous aerial surveillance, providing real-time intelligence on enemy positions and movements. Additionally, the Air Force was ready to provide close air support and conducted precision strikes, further weakening the enemy defense and disrupting their plans. The coordination of these forces was meticulously planned and executed. Each branch of the military had a specific role to play, but they operated as a single cohesive units, sharing intelligence and supporting each other's effort and adapting to the fluid dynamics of the battlefield. The level of synchronization allowed the Indian military to leverage their combined strength, outmaneuver the infiltrators, and achieve their strategic objectives. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, it became clear that the coordination of forces was not just a tactical advantage, but a strategic imperative. It showcased the India's military capability to operate in unison, combine the strength of ground, air and special forces to defend the nation and maintain stability in the regions marked by the conflict. Now let's turn our attention to one of the most intense confrontations during Operation Cheeta, the Battle of Asar and Kadala. This was not just an skirmish. It was a fierce and decisive battle where Indian and Pakistani forces engaged in intense combat for control over the strategic town of Asar and Kadala, a key battleground in the ongoing conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, Asar and Kadala was more than just a geographical location. It was a strategic asset. The town position made it a critical point for controlling movement and supply lines in the region. Both sides recognized its importance and neither was willing to concede it easily. This made Asar Kadala a focal point of military strategy, a place where the stakes were incredibly high. As the battle unfolded, Indian forces moved decisively to secure the town. The Indian Army, backed by special force units and supported by the Indian Air Force, launched a coordinated assault to dislodge the Pakistani forces entrenched in the area. The combat was fierce, with both sides fighting tenaciously to gain the upper hand. Indian troops demonstrated remarkable bravery and tactical acumen, navigating the challenging terrain and adapting to the rapidly changing conditions of the battlefield. The special forces played a crucial role, executing targeted strikes to disrupt enemy formation and weaken their defenses. Meanwhile, the Air Force provided crucial air support, conducting recce to track enemy movement and launching precision airstrikes to suppress the enemy fire. The battle at Asar Kadala was characterized by intense close-quarter combat and artillery exchanges. The Pakistani forces, aware of the town's strategic significance, fought back with determination, but the coordinated efforts of Indian forces gradually pushed them back. The combination of ground assault, special operations and air support created a multi-layered offensive that overwhelmed the defenders. After hours of relentless fighting, Indian forces succeeded in gaining control over Asar Kadala. And this victory was not just a tactical win. It was a strategic triumph that significantly impacted the broader conflict. By securing Asar Kadala, India solidified its hold on a critical region, disrupted the enemy's plan, and sent a clear message about its resolve to protect Jammu and Kashmir. The battle at Asar Kadala exemplifies the courage, skill, and coordination of the Indian military during the Operation Cheeta. It was a defining moment that showcased India's determination to defend its territory against all odds. As we continue to explore Operation Cheeta, it is evident that battle like Asar Kadala was more than just fight for land. They were crucial steps in securing sovereignty and stability of Jammu and Kashmir, reaffirming India's commitment to its national integrity. Let's now take a closer look at the coordinated Indian maneuver that played a crucial role in the Battle of Asar Kadala during Operation Cheeta. This battle was a textbook example of how the Indian military effectively employed a combination of ground, air, and covert operations to outmaneuver and defeat Pakistani infiltrators in this strategically important location. In the fight for Asar Kadala, the Indian Army led the charge on the ground. Understanding the strategic importance of the town, Indian forces moved swiftly and decisively, deploying troops to key positions to establish control. The army's ground maneuver were meticulously planned, focusing on cutting off enemy supply lines and surrounding Pakistani positions. And by doing so, they aimed to create pressure from all sides, forcing the infiltrators into a defensive stance. While the army engaged the enemy on the ground, the Indian Air Force provided essential aerial support. Conducting continuous reconnaissance mission, the Air Force gathered vital intelligence on the enemy's movement and fortifications. This information was relayed to the ground force in real time, allowing them to adapt their tactics and make informed decisions. Additionally, the Air Force executed precision airstrikes on enemy strongholds, weakening their defenses and paving the way for the army advance. Adding another layer of the coordinated assault were the Special Forces units. Operating covertly, these elite troops carried out targeted strikes against the high-value enemy positions. Their actions were designed to disrupt the infiltrators' coordination and create confusion within their ranks. Friends, by executing these stealthy operations, the Special Forces ensured that the enemy was constantly on the back foot, unable to mount an effective defense. The coordination between the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces was impeccable. Each branch of the military worked in perfect harmony, leveraging their unique strength to achieve a common objective. The Army's stronghold on the ground provided a stable platform for the operation. The Air Force dominance in the skies offered critical support, and the Special Forces' covert actions created chaos among the infiltrators. This multi-dimensional strategy was key to outmaneuvering and defeating the Pakistani forces at Asar Kadala. By integrating ground, air, and covert operations, the Indian military was able to execute a comprehensive plan that overwhelmed the enemy and secured a decisive victory. As we reflect on the Battle of Asar Kadala, it is clear that the coordination of forces was crucial to its success. It showcased the power of unified action, where every branch of military worked together to achieve a strategic victory, reaffirming India's commitment to defending its territory and maintaining stability in the region. Now let's discuss the outcome of the intense Battle of Asar Kadala, a defining moment in Operation Cheeta. The clash was not just another battle in the conflict, it was a decisive Indian victory that had far-reaching implications for the control of Jammu and Kashmir. The fierce fighting at Asar Kadala culminated in a strategic triumph for the Indian forces. Through coordinated maneuver involving the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces, India was able to outmaneuver and overpower the Pakistani infiltrators entrenched in this crucial town. This victory was a result of meticulous planning, precise execution, and relentless determination from all branches of the Indian military. Ladies and gentlemen, by securing Asar Kadala, Indian forces achieved more than just a tactical win. This success was pivotal in consolidating control over a significant region of Jammu and Kashmir, a region that was essential for maintaining supply lines and securing few key positions in the broader conflict. The victory disrupted Pakistan's plan and effectively thwarted their attempt to seize the control of Jammu and Kashmir. The battle was marked by bravery and tenacity of Indian soldiers who fought under challenging conditions. The Indian Army executed ground maneuver with precision. The Air Force provided critical support from above, and the Special Forces conducted covert operations that created confusion and dismantled enemy positions. The win at Asar Kadala was more than a military achievement. It was a powerful statement. It reaffirmed India's resolve to defend its territory and demonstrated the strength and coordination of its armed forces. The consolidation of control over this strategic town significantly shifted the momentum in favor of India, reinforcing its positions in the region. As we reflect on Operation Cheeta, the decisive victory at Asar Kadala stands out as a key turning point. It showcased India's military prowess, its commitment to protecting its sovereignty, and its ability to respond effectively to threats. The success of this battle ensured that Jammu and Kashmir remained firmly under Indian control, a testament to the courage and capability of the Indian forces. In the larger context of the conflict, the victory at Asar Kadala was a defining moment that helped shape the future of Jammu and Kashmir, ensuring stability and reaffirming India's determination to safeguard its borders against any aggression. Let's move ahead and let's discuss the strategic impact of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, two pivotal military operations that played a crucial role in shaping the future of Jammu and Kashmir. These operations were not just significant in terms of immediate military victories. They had a profound and lasting impact on the regional stability and geopolitical landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, Operation Satyanash and Cheeta were meticulously planned and executed to secure Jammu and Kashmir from Pakistani infiltrators and prevent any attempt at territorial annexation. Through a series of coordinated ground, air, and covert maneuvers, the Indian forces successfully neutralized the threats, solidifying control over this strategically vital region. The strategic impact of these operations went beyond the battlefield. And by decisively securing Jammu and Kashmir, India was able to thwart Pakistan's territorial ambition in the region. And this was a significant blow to Pakistan's plan and underscored India's commitment to protecting its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The operation ensured that Jammu and Kashmir remained an integral part of India, safeguarding it against the external threat and internal stability. Moreover, these operations helped to consolidate India's control over the region. So, by eliminating infiltrators and securing key strategic locations, the Indian military established a strong defensive presence that deterred further incursion and laid the groundwork for long-term stability. This consolidation was not just about military control. It was about securing the lives of the people in Jammu and Kashmir and ensuring a peaceful environment for them to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta had a lasting impact on regional stability. They reinforced India's position in Jammu and Kashmir, demonstrating to the world India's capability and resolve to defend its borders. This display of military strength and strategic acumen also sent a clear message to any adversaries considering similar actions in the future. India would not hesitate to take decisive action to protect its sovereignty. These operations also contributed to the broader sense of national unity and pride. They showcase the strength and coordination of India's armed forces and their ability to work together to achieve common goals. The victory in these operations boosted morale, reaffirming faith in the Indian military ability to safeguard the nation. As we reflect on Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, it is evident that their impact was far-reaching. They were pivotal in shaping the future of Jammu and Kashmir and preventing further conflict and ensuring that the region remained a stable and integral part of India. The lasting impact on the region's stability from these operations continue to be felt today, as they laid the foundation for peace and security in the region that has seen much turbulence. Now let's discuss an essential outcome of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta: the strengthening of India's military capabilities. These operations were more than just victories on the battlefield. They were a powerful demonstration of India's growing strategic military prowess and its ability to execute complex, coordinated operations with precision and efficiency. The successful execution of these operations showcased India's ability to seamlessly integrate and coordinate multiple branches of its armed forces: ground, air, and covert units. Each branch played a crucial role in the overall strategy, and their ability to work together effectively was key to the operation's success. The Indian Army demonstrated its strength in ground warfare, executing precise maneuver to secure strategic locations and establish a strong defensive presence. Their ability to navigate challenging terrains, engage the enemy effectively, and hold critical ground was instrumental in neutralizing the infiltrators and consolidating control over Jammu and Kashmir. At the same time, the Indian Air Force provided crucial support from the skies. By conducting aerial recce and intelligence gathering, the Air Force gave ground forces a clear picture of the battlefield, allowing them to anticipate enemy movements and plan their actions accordingly. When necessary, the Air Force also carried out precision airstrikes, further weakening enemy positions and aiding the success of ground operations. The Special Forces, forming the backbone of Cheetah Force, executed covert operations that were vital to the overall strategy. Their stealth infiltrations and precision strikes disrupted enemy coordination and eliminated key threats, demonstrating India's ability to conduct sophisticated, high-risk missions behind enemy lines. The coordination between these forces was seamless, showcasing India's ability to conduct multi-dimensional military operations that combine the strength of all branches of its armed forces. And this level of integration and synchronization was a testament to the training and discipline and strategic planning of the Indian military. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta significantly enhanced India's strategic military capabilities. It demonstrated that India could effectively deploy and manage its forces in complex scenarios, responding swiftly to the threats and protecting its sovereignty. This capability to conduct coordinated operations across different domains, that is land, air and covert, has since become a cornerstone of India's military strategy. As we reflect on these operations, it is clear that the successful execution of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta did more than secure in Jammu and Kashmir. They significantly strengthened India's military capabilities, enhancing its ability to protect its territory and ensuring its readiness to face future challenges with confidence and resilience. As we reflect on the outcome of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, it is important to consider their implication for future conflict resolution. These operations have left a lasting legacy that underscores the significance of decisive action and comprehensive military strategies in addressing complex territorial disputes. The success of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta was not merely a series of tactical victories. It was a demonstration of India's capability and readiness to protect its territorial integrity through well-planned and coordinated military efforts. The operations showcase the importance of taking decisive action when faced with aggression or infiltration, ensuring that threats are neutralized swiftly and effectively. One of the key lessons from these operations is the value of comprehensive military strategies. By integrating ground forces, air support and covert operations, India was able to create a multi-layered defense that outmaneuvered and overwhelmed the infiltrators. This approach ensured that all aspects of the battlefield were covered, from securing strategic locations on the ground to maintaining aerial dominance and disrupting enemy operations through covert actions. The legacy of these operations also highlights the importance of adaptability and preparedness in the military planning. The ability to respond quickly to the emerging threats, adapt to changing conditions on the ground, and coordinate actions across multiple branches of the military proved crucial to the success of these missions. This kind of flexibility and foresight is essential in resolving complex territorial disputes, where the situation can evolve rapidly and unpredictably. Moreover, these operations have set a precedent for future conflict resolution. They have demonstrated a strong and decisive military response backed by thorough planning and execution, and can be an effective means of protecting a nation's sovereignty and securing its borders. This is a valuable lesson for any future conflict that may arise, particularly in the region where territorial dispute remain a significant challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, the experience gained from the Operation Satyanash and Cheeta also had contributed to the evolution of India's military doctrine. It has reinforced the importance of integrated operations, intelligence gathering, and joint planning in achieving the strategic objectives. And this holistic approach has become a cornerstone of India's defense strategy, ensuring that the military is always prepared to respond to threat in a coordinated and effective manner. As we consider the implication for future conflict resolution, it is clear that the legacy of these operations goes beyond the immediate outcome on the battlefield. They serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of decisive action and comprehensive strategies in safeguarding a nation's interests and maintaining regional stability. In conclusion, the lesson learned from Operation Satyanash and Cheeta continue to shape India's approach to conflict resolution, providing a framework for addressing territorial disputes and ensuring the security of its borders in the face of any future challenges. As we conclude our deep dive into the Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, one key theme emerges above all: the bravery and the tactical acumen of the Indian forces. The Indian Army, Air Force and the Special Forces displayed extraordinary courage and strategic prowess in executing these operations, which were crucial in securing Jammu and Kashmir and protecting the nation's sovereignty. Throughout these operations, the Indian Army demonstrated unmatched resilience and determination, facing challenging terrains and unpredictable enemy movement. They executed ground maneuver with precision and resolve. Their ability to hold key positions and launch effective counter-attacks against infiltrators was pivotal in neutralizing the threat posed by the Pakistan's attempt to seize the control of the region. The Indian Air Force complemented these ground efforts with their dominance in the skies. By providing real-time aerial recce and executing precision strikes, they ensured that the Indian forces had a comprehensive understanding of the battlefield dynamics. Their support was instrumental in disrupting enemy plans and creating opportunities for ground forces to advance. And equally commendable were the Special Forces, whose covert operations were marked by stealth and precision. Operating behind enemy lines, they carried out targeted strikes that dismantled the enemy's network and sowed the confusion among their ranks. Ladies and gentlemen, together these branches of the Indian military worked in unison to achieve a common goal. The coordination and synergy between the ground, air, and the covert forces were nothing short of exemplary. It was this integrated approach that enabled India to outmaneuver and defeat the infiltrators, effectively securing Jammu and Kashmir and preventing further incursions. Operation Satyanash and Cheeta stands a testament to the bravery, skill, and strategic acumen of India's armed forces. They highlight the importance of decisive action and comprehensive military strategies in defending the nation's territory and maintaining regional stability. The success of these operations reinforced India's resolve to protect its sovereignty against any threat, no matter how complex or formidable. In closing, Operation Satyanash and Cheeta were more than just military campaign. They were defining moments that reaffirmed India's commitment to its national integrity and its readiness to defend its borders with unparalleled bravery and tactical brilliance. As we look back on Operation Satyanash and Cheeta, one of the most significant takeaways is the importance of coordinated military operation. The seamless coordination between ground, air, and covert forces was crucial to the success of these missions, highlighting India's ability to effectively leverage its military capabilities to achieve strategic objectives. During these operations, the Indian Army, Air Force, and Special Forces worked in perfect harmony, each playing a vital role in a larger integrated strategy. The success of these missions was not just about individual bravery or isolated maneuver. It was about how each branch of the military operated as a cohesive unit, with a shared vision and a unified goal. Ladies and gentlemen, the seamless coordination among these forces demonstrated India's capability to conduct multi-dimensional military operations with precision and effectiveness. By leveraging the strength of each branch, India was able to create a comprehensive strategy that neutralized the threat posed by the Pakistani infiltrators and secured the Jammu and Kashmir. This integrated approach to the military operation is a testament to the importance of coordination in modern warfare. It shows that when ground, air, and covert forces work together seamlessly, they can achieve far more than when they operate in isolation. The level of coordination is not only enhances the effectiveness of military operations but also ensures that strategic objectives are met efficiently and with minimum casualties. In conclusion, these operations remind us that in today's complex security environment, the ability to integrate and coordinate diverse military capabilities is the key to achieving strategic success. India's armed forces demonstrated this brilliantly, showcasing their readiness to respond to any challenge with unity, strength, and strategic foresight. As we reflect on the impact of Operations Satyanash and Cheeta, it is essential to understand their lasting impact for regional stability. The successful execution of these operations did more than just secure immediate military victories. They played a pivotal role in consolidating India's control over Jammu and Kashmir, thereby laying a strong foundation for long-term stability in the region. The primary objective of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta was to eliminate Pakistani infiltrators and prevent any attempt to alter the status quo in Jammu and Kashmir. By achieving these objectives, the Indian forces were able to decisively thwart Pakistan's territorial ambitions, ensuring that the regions remained firmly under the Indian sovereignty. The consolidation of control over Jammu and Kashmir was a significant strategic achievement. And by securing key locations and neutralizing threats, India not only safeguarded its territorial integrity but also demonstrated its resolve to defend its border against any form of aggression. This decisive action sent a clear message to the adversaries and allies alike. India was committed to maintaining the sovereignty and security of Jammu and Kashmir. But the implication of these operations went beyond the battlefield. The success of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta established a foundation for the long-term regional stability. Furthermore, these operations helped to deter future attempts at destabilization. By demonstrating India's military capabilities and its willingness to take decisive action, Operation Satyanash and Cheeta reinforced the notion that any future aggression would be met with a strong and coordinated response. This deterrence has been a key factor in maintaining peace and stability in the region over the years. The lasting implication of these operations also extend to India's broader strategic posture. They have underscored the importance of comprehensive military strategies and decisive action in resolving complex territorial disputes. The lesson learned from these operations continue to shape India's approach to the security and defense, ensuring that military remain vigilant and prepared to respond to any threat. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the successful implementation of Operation Satyanash and Cheeta was a turning point in the history of Jammu and Kashmir. By consolidating control over the region and preventing Pakistan's territorial ambition, these operations laid the groundwork for enduring regional stability, demonstrating India's commitment to peace, security, and the well-being of its people. Friends, here we come to the end of this part. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.